Good morning. I can see three ladies there at the meeting. Are you? But I'm not able to hear anything. I thought one of you are talking. Okay.
Good morning, sir. That their mic must be muted, sir. Maybe they must be talking. Good morning. This is Dr. Jyoti this side, sir. Welcome to the board, all the judges. So, sir, they must be on. They must have muted, sir.
So very good morning, everyone. I request everyone to turn on their cameras and be ready with and just have a check on your mics and videos and everything. I can see so many great personalities over here on the screen and the talented students. That's a great thing. I think we have 3-4 minutes. Let's wait for if anybody is left, and then we'll start the show. So, APS Mathuru, I think this is your first day of the event. Are you all ready?
A very good morning, ma'am. Thank you so much for the opportunity, and we hope we're ready.
Okay, that's great. So, are you happy that you have directly come here, or you missed the thing that other people have got the experience in the previous day?
Ma'am, we have surely worked our way and we've worked hard. Rest, I think the competition will be the best speaker for the work that we've put in.
That's great. We also expect great performance by both the teams. So I think we should start it, and I request everyone once again to turn on their cameras, and we're going to begin this event.
Good morning, everyone. Madhvi, I'll just take a second. I just wanted to wish everyone, both the teams, best wishes on behalf of Honorable Chairman also, 611 Independent Lady Brigade. Greetings to each and everyone, right? And I'm sure that the way your mentors have prepared you both the teams, APS Udhampur and APS Mathura. They are going to beat the stage and beat the platform. So we will also learn a lot from them. And respected jury members are with us. So they will also be adding something to our bags. So all the very best once again. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for your encouraging words. These are surely going to help our students. So I would like to start the day with few lines for you. परिंदों को मंजिल मिलेगी यकीनन, परिंदों को मंजिल मिलेगी यकीनन, ये फैले हुए उनके पर बोलते हैं। अक्सर वो लोग खामोश रहते हैं जमाने में, अक्सर वो लोग खामोश रहते हैं जमाने में, जिनके हुनर बोलते हैं। आदर, अभिनंदन, आभार, नमस्कार, आदाब, सत श्री अकाल, a very warm welcome, a very good morning to all of you present here. This is a great day that has brought all of us together to this wonderful, momentous, and an auspicious occasion today. I, Madhvi Mathur, on behalf of the Secretary of the event, Dr. Jyoti Baryal, Principal APS Dharod, have the pleasure to be the hostess of this day. Today, we are indeed honored to have amongst us esteemed judges, talented participants, the worthy teacher in charges, and the lovely spectators. Well, it's a great day we have been planning and waiting for. Once again, I extend my warm welcome to the august gathering present here on day 2. I think on day 3 of Northern Command Inter-APS's Awwa Ethics Bowl 2023. Well, if we talk about Awwa, Awwa is a non-profit organization that endeavors to empower the families, children, and widows of army personnel through socially relevant projects like skill development programs, awarding scholarships and vocational trainings, and rehabilitation of its dependents. Besides this, it has also been working earnestly towards creating a generation of Indian citizens with robust ethical values and strong moral bearing. Our Ethics Bowl is a thoughtfully curated annual event conducted in collaboration with our Army public schools across the nation. A unique concept of Ethics Bowl is that it fosters the values of debating with courtesy and politeness, and also engenders in them to take ethically justified stands in their real life through careful deliberation and extensive research. The competition also seeks to instill intellectual conviction and all the important 21st century skills of critical thinking, collaboration, team spirit, and problem solving. And my dear friends, APS Dharod is indeed extremely proud to host this wonderful event. We are eternally grateful to our Northern Command for having given us this opportunity. So, without any further delay, let's start the proceedings. We are glad that today we have with us such great eminent dignitaries who could spare their valuable time and have blessed us with their gracious presence. So I would take this opportunity to introduce our worthy esteemed panel of judges for today's event. So my dear students, would you like to know who are the jury members for you today? Okay, you must be, excited to know about that, I think so. So, well, ladies and gentlemen, the true grandeur of humanity is in moral elevation. The true grandeur of humanity is in moral elevation, sustained, enlightened, and decorated by the intellect of man. Yes, today we have one such eminent character amidst us on this auspicious day. We feel deeply elevated to take a note of the presence of our first jury member, Mrs. Bharti Mankani, who is a renowned educationist. Ma'am, your hard work, commitment, and over 25 years of expertise in the field of education supplement the same. Dream to achieve and dare to conquer. I repeat, dream to achieve and dare to conquer. So, Mrs. Bharti Mankani, she's the principal of St. M.R. Jaipuria School, Barabanki. She's embracing the teaching fraternity for more than 25 glorious years. Bharti, Mrs. Bharti is an excellent educator who commenced her marvelous journey by commendation of gold medal and scholarship in her graduation and post-graduation, proving her eminence in scholarly skills. As an engrossed and esteemed leader, she has taken up the whole 9 yards from the front with excellence and prowess. She is an illuminating beacon of an NGO which works for underprivileged girls of village and skill training for early livelihood. She has startlingly effectuated the responsibility that she was entrusted with of being a squad and inspector by CBSE, proffered her services in ISC and ICSE exams as a supervisor. As a principal of Jaipuria Barabanki, she has lifted the graph with grace and efficacy, mentoring students to exhibit their finest scholastic and post-scholastic qualities. Her achievements of awards holds a wonderful glory to unfold. She has been graced with a Human Resource Development Award twice by Government of India. Moving ahead with the list, it is not yet ended. She is also the receiver of an award by Helpage India, ELITS India, EQFI, Intelligem, Rethink India, followed by many more for her irreplaceable contribution in the field of education. Her recognition is simply not restricted to words as she accolades the Best Principal Award by Student Development. As an active and exuberant participant, she has also worked as a panelist on the issues like preparing the students for 21st century skills and many more. She has got the brilliant opportunity to attend a 4-day retreat by European Institute of Applied Buddhism, holding a certificate with honor and grace. We are so delighted to have you with us, ma'am. As I just read that you have been the panelist on the issues of preparing students for 21st century skills. I'm sure this event is going to be the witness of all those skills, and our students will come out with all those skills and will learn many more about this. Your presence to this event adds glitters to this show. We extend a genial welcome, dear ma'am, and I would like to hear a few words from you, ma'am.
Thank you so much, Madhavi ma'am. It was great to hear all that. Thank you so much for those words. Yes, I have been an active participant in various fields which are connected to education and students, and I love to be there, looking at my students to grow up with the 21st century skills and the new NEP that has come up, which has actually changed the format. So I want to see them growing up in that way, and that is why I keep on contributing to whatever extent I could in this field. And all the best to all the participant students, and I hope the best one wins. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for these encouraging words. I'm sure students will come out with best performance today, and surely the best team will win. Next, I would like to say a few lines. A million unlit candles in still darkness prevails. A million unlit candles in still darkness prevails. All that is needed is that one candle with light. Not only will the darkness be dispelled, but also the million candles will come to light. Yes, today we have with us such a beacon of light who has been successful in dispelling the darkness out of the lives of so many people of society, and many more are yet to be touched by her. With her charming and cheerful greetings, we extend a hearty welcome to Mrs. Alka Awasthi, in whose presence number of incomplete souls feel complete. Mrs. Alka Awasthi, a school management professional, has traversed an illustrious career spanning more than 26 years. Her experience and expertise include teaching, mentoring, training, planning, and developing skills in the premier institutions of the country like Delhi Public School, St. Patrick's, Indraprasth International School, Army Public Schools, Amity International School, and headed K.R. Mangalam World School, GK2, and now heading Mayur School, Noida, which is in collaboration with Mayo College, Ajmer. An alumnus of MDU and a topper in graduation, Mrs. Awasthi is postgraduate in English literature with a degree in education. Her penchant and passion for literature has taken her head to her bachelor's in journalism and mass communication and worked with a leading newspaper. Her journey is embellished with shouldering responsibilities in building strength through innovations and development of quality management systems and processes. She has been a change maker and initiated systematic reforms as well as sustainable change in every organization that she has been a part of. Under her leadership, school hosted two CBSE national level competition, that is science exhibition and storytelling competition. The school was declared as one of the national winner among 117 other winners from across the nation in India's first toykathon, in which more than 1.2 lakh teams participated. 1.2 lakh teams participated. She has worked with CBSE for policy formulation for affiliation, handbook on experiential learning, reading literacy, and has also contributed in the process of developing manuals on various schemes of CBSE. A resource person who has provided training to CBSE teachers on experiential learning, pedagogical leadership, and many more areas. She is also district training coordinator for Gautam Budh Nagar schools under Center of Excellence CBSE, Noida, and city coordinator for NTA for Noida, Greater Noida region. She is also heading Sahodaya Noida. Strong goal orientation, interpersonal and communication skills, creative solver and analytical thinker, ability to identify, focus, and execute key priorities, subject matter expert, staff leadership, and performance building are her professional strengths. Above all, she is known for her tenacity, resourcefulness, original thinking, and persuasion skills. An agile person, she has participated in basketball, throwball, and badminton at state and national level. I'm sure all of you will be persuaded by her today for this great event to do your best. And it is my great pleasure to welcome you, ma'am, on this event. And I would like to hear a few encouraging, valuable words from you, ma'am. Over to you, ma'am. Alka, ma'am, can you hear me?
Thank you so much for all the words that you just now spoke. Well, being from the army myself, I've taught in 3 army schools, and my children have also been product of army schools. So I always advocate that we are the best. You know, the institution army, Indian Army, is the best place to be, and our kids, army public school kids, they are the best. Wherever they go, they leave an impression and a mark. And also I'm looking forward to this Awwa Ethics Bowl competition, and I would like to hear and like to be in touch with what these young kids and young, if I may say so, young army kids would like to present in front of us. And here I just remember, you know, lines which these kids must have probably read in class 9 or 10 by Robert Frost. 2 roads diverged in the wood, and I took the one less traveled by, and that has made all the difference. So kids, all the best to you, and looking forward to listening to what you have to say about ethical dilemma or ethics. Thank you. Thank you once again.
Thank you so much, ma'am. It was really nice hearing you, and I'm sure certainly the students will come out with all those ethical issues and researches they must have done so well. We're going to listen from them today. So next, I would like to say that life is not about expecting, hoping, and wishing. Life is just not about expecting, hoping, and wishing. It's about doing, being, and becoming. The Lord says, "Here is my servant whom I strengthen, the one I have chosen, with whom I am pleased. I have filled his spirit with my spirit." Yes, dear all, we have such a guardian sent by God with us today, and it's an esteemed pleasure to welcome respected Colonel Karan Kharup sir, and he has been through the army background also, and I must tell you that he has been a writer also, which I really was pleased to while reading his things. I would like to share about him. Colonel Kharab sir, he has been graduated from Delhi University, had early exposure to Vedic literature, yoga and social service. If I talk about his military career, during his command, his Unit 21 Bihar was adjudged as the best all-round battalion in the entire infantry division. He led his unit in several anti-terrorist operations successfully, all resulting in many awards. As a captain, he had been an instructor at the Indian Military Academy, Dehradun. As a colonel, he took premature retirement in 1999. And if I talk about his experience in Special Forces, NSG, as a squadron commander and later as second in command of 51 Special Action Group, SAG in the NSG, he led and participated in many high-risk missions, including Operation Black Thunder. Papers written by him on some operational concepts were accepted as SOPs. And if I talk about him as a trainer and a motivator, he has a favorite of several institutes and organizations. He has addressed some very prestigious groups from time to time. His concepts and programs on leadership have been covered in the media from time to time. If I talk about his publications, 3 of his books on leadership development, Made to Lead, Lead to Succeed, and How Great Leaders Succeed, each having a sprinkling of lessons drawn from the Vedas and the Bhagavad Gita and the Yoga Darshan respectively, went on to become international bestsellers. The first 2 have been translated into Russian and German languages as well. The fourth, Crime Academy, a fictional portrayal of crime, corruption, and socio-political intrigues, has been a bestseller too. His 5th book, the list is not yet ended. His 5th book, India, The Future of South Asia, is an edited book with contributions from a galaxy of strategic brains in India, Pakistan, China, and the US. If I talk about his social work, rehabilitation in post-quake Kutch, that is Gujarat. On a proposal from Sri Sahib Singh Verma in 2003, he agreed to manage the ongoing rehabilitation program in Kutch. As founding director of Jan Shikshan Sansthan, Kutch, he set up vocational skill development centers covering the remote villages of Kutch. So, dear sir, we are really extremely delighted and indeed happy that we can see you here and we are going to listen from you, because I'm also so much fond of reading books and I'm definitely going to buy these 3 books especially, and I will definitely enhance my knowledge from you, not just this time but afterwards also. So we'd like to hear from you, sir. Over to you.
Thank you so much. And I'm just at the moment, you have said enough, and in fact, rather so much. I hardly need to say anything about ex-army officers. I think all the children, most of you are from the army background or military background, definitely. And I'm sure you are more aware what our life is like, what I would have done. I very much aspire. I wish I could be back again at school with such a great, such charming faces, such a brilliant talents that you are going to guide the destiny of this nation in years to come. And my blessings to all the children, all the teachers, young talents are there, and particularly the faculties, the teachers in all army public schools. I bow to you all. My 2 children themselves have been from the army background, and not only army, but I'm sorry, my son is in the army, of course, but my son and daughter both are products of your institutions. Army Public School Dhola Kuan, and thereafter Army Public School Noida. Thank you so much. Looking forward to this exciting debate series, and what a beautiful theme that you are discussing, very much needed. And let us see how I'm looking forward to have some new ideas from you all. God bless you.
Certainly, sir, surely. And these are really the future generations, and we are really proud to be the part of Army Public School. And it is really a great pleasure for me also. And it really makes us feel nostalgic when we hear these young students. We really remember those days, and it's good that we are still young, right? As I can see you, it really makes us feel young even at this stage when we participate and be the part of such kind of events. So thank you so much, sir. So moving ahead, dear all, I'm certain that the journey to grand finale will be very exciting and fulfilling one for the students who will undergo the most enriching experiences of their lifetime. And is it that? Is it going to be exciting for you students? Are you? Okay, I'm
Yes,
sure
ma'am.
this will, deep rootedly put up you in such a thing that you will always remember this, right? So, well, if I say it's also said that yathachit tatha vacho, yatha vachas tatha kriya. I repeat, yathachit tatha vacho, yatha vachas tatha kriya. This means that as is the mind, so is the speech. And as is the speech, so is the action. And we believe that through this competition, the participants will acquire the art of striking the right balance between the thoughts, words, and actions. Our best comes out when we have honest discussions, and that is the essence of this competition. So now we have come to the most important part of the day, the match between, yes, the match between, can you say your school's name?
APS Uttarakhand.
APS
APS
Udhampur
Udhampur.
and APS Mathura. That's great. So, ladies and gentlemen, today we are going to witness definitely the wonderful knowledge enriching and insightful deliberations by young, eager beavers. So let's gear up for a striking beginning of the show, right? So before beginning, I am going to select one team from both of you who is going to be the presenter of the day. That team will be team A. I have a bowl with me and there are two chits in this. One is for APS Mathura and one is for APS Udhampur. I'm going to select one chit and let's see who is going to be the first team to present, right? So let's take this chit and it is APS Mathura, right? Can you see this? APS Mathura, right? So this time, God wants you to present first because you're already given the great chance, right? So APS Mathura is going to be the team A. I repeat it. The dear judges, respected judges, kindly note it down. The team A is APS Mathura. That is going to be the presenter, and the responder is APS Udhampur. That is team B. So before we proceed, let's have a quick overview of the rules and format of the match before we begin. Okay. But before that, I would like to have a very brief introduction of both the teams. So team A, APS Mathura, will you please introduce yourself?
A very good morning to everyone. I am Mahi Kapil, a student of 12th Humanities.
Okay.
A very good morning to everyone. I am Pragati Sharma, a student of class 10th.
I am Krishna Singh, a student of class 10th G.
Good morning to all the jury members, my dear colleagues. I am Amit Vikram Singh from class 12th Science.
Okay, so thank you so much, APS Mathura. Now I request APS Udhampur, team B, to kindly introduce yourself.
Greetings everyone. I am Myra Mahajan in class 10th. I am the presenter of APS Udhampur.
Greetings everyone. I'm Anaya Sarji from APC Udhampur. I'm currently in class 11 and I'm a presenter and I'm extremely happy to be part of it.
A very good morning, everyone. I am Ananya Sharma. I am presently in class 11th Humanities stream and I am a presenter from APS Udhampur.
Greetings everyone. I'm Erika George from APS Udhampur and currently I'm in 11th with the stream Humanities and it's a great honor to be a part of the ethics poll team APS Udhampur 2023. Thank you.
Greetings everyone. I am Hika Kaur studying in class 10th. Good morning, everyone. I am Tejaswini Singh. I'm a student of class 10th.
Okay, thank you so much. I hope both the teams have taken a look of their opponents, their friends, of course. So let me have a brief description of the rules. The first thing you have to keep in mind that each team will be given 10 minutes to present, including answering the ethical question put up by the moderator at the end of the case study. A reminder bell will be given after 8 minutes and the final bell will be given after 10 minutes to sum up the case. After that, 1 mark will be deducted for every minute excluding the time limit. Is it clear to the presenter team? Next step will be the other team will be given 2 minutes to confer. Like team B will be given 2 minutes to confer and 5 minutes to comment. A bell will be rung at the end of the 5 minutes. Okay, and the next step, the other team is also required to ask a maximum of 2 questions to presenter team most to post their commentary. The presenter team will be given 2 minutes to confer and come back with their answers. Right, this is the third step. They will also be given 2 minutes to ponder over the question put forward by the team B, and they have to reply back after 2 minutes. No cross questioning by the other team is allowed. The presenter team is required to answer the questions put by the other team within 5 minutes. Right, 5 minutes is the limit to answer. The team can decide whether all members will speak or only one member speaks. A reminder bell will be rung at the end of 5 minutes. After this, both the judges will ask one question each. They're allowed to cross question. The presenter team members the presenter team will get 2 minutes to confer and get back with their answers. So after the questions of judges, you will also be given 2 minutes again to confer and come back with your answer. There will be 15 minutes break before the next team presents its case. Once the next team starts, the same format as the one mentioned above will be repeated. The moderator closes the event by finally announcing the score for both the teams and declaring the winner. So I hope you're clear with the rules. So without wasting any further time, I just want to begin our day. I hope APS Mathura Team A is ready. I'm going to read the case study. The case study for you is personal relations versus ethical values. Pawan is pursuing MBA and shares a room with you in the private hostel. He desperately needs a job after completing his course because of educational loan and weak economic background. In his 2 semesters, he has to secure good marks at any cost to satisfy minimum criteria for placements. Few days before the final semester exam, he comes to you and asks for money. He is stressed and nervous. He tells you about his plan to purchase semester papers to clear the exam and convinces you for the same by giving reference to his bad health, family status, and his education loan. In such circumstances, would it be right to lend money to him? And now the question for you is, identify the moral dilemma faced by you. So the question for you is, identify the moral dilemma faced by you. So the presenter team, Team A, APS Mathura, I hope you're ready with your presentation, and now your time starts now.
Good morning, ma'am. Am I audible? न चोराहार्यम न च राजहार्यम न भ्रातृभाज्यम न च भारकारी व्ययकृते वर्धत एव नित्यम विद्याधनम सर्वधन प्रधानम. It cannot be stolen by thieves, nor can it be taken away by the kings. It cannot be divided among fellow citizens. It will always keep on growing if spent regularly. The wealth of knowledge is the most superior wealth of all. A very warm morning to everyone present here. Ethics is concerned with the question of what is right and wrong, good and bad, fair and unfair, and how these concepts are directly applied in different situations and concepts. Morals are the skill set which helps create humans and helps them to create fair, credible, and honest judgments. Morals and ethics are arsenals of proficiencies which helps human be familiar with the concept of humanity. The moral dilemma faced by us is whether we should lend money to our friend Pavan or not. On one hand, we want to help him because of his strenuous circumstances. But on the other hand, we also know that helping him cheat in the final semester examinations can have a serious consequences on both of us. Over to Pragati.
It is a dilemmatic situation. In the case given, Pawan is in severe conditions and is financially unstable. In this situation, I am on the crossroads where there is a strife between a friend and a responsible citizen. When I will get to know that my friend is suffering from all these things, my brain will say that it's wrong thing, but my heart will say that we should help our friend. As a friend, I do have social obligations, but on the other hand, I have a deep inner voice which tells me that I have to do the right thing. In this situation, as a in this situation, it would be very difficult for me to take the decision. But as quoted by Gandhiji, noble goals can be achieved by noble means only. So Pawan can improve his conditions by his own actions, and I will support him in this on walking on the right path ethically and morally. I will also help him to overcome the situation with great fortitude, and as the things can be set right for the longer time when they are done by fair and just means. Over to Krishna.
I need to balance my role as a true friend by realizing my friend's mistakes and simultaneously helping him in other ways and not by cheating for the sake of passing the exams. Pawan's mental condition during these times would not be good because he's under tremendous pressure. So as to make him feel a little better, I would make him share his problems as much or as little as he wants, listen carefully to what he has to say, calm him down and make him feel a little bit relaxed, because we all know that when we have friends around, the life is a little happier. As Pawan already has an educational loan, so if he needs any type of educational assistance or economic assistance in form of study material, so the college friends, all of the college friends can group up and provide funds for him. Pawan also missed his lectures due to bad health. It is given the case study that he was in bad health. So, as to cover his syllabus, I would ask all my friends to form a study group and also add Pawan in it. That would really help Pawan in coping up with his studies. I would also seek helps from college professors, as there are some concepts that are not easily understood by the students only. I would also suggest him online video lectures because they help a lot. If Pawan studies dedicatedly, then he would for sure pass the exams and for sure would get a placement. I would encourage him and motivate him. I would imbibe confidence in him so that his hidden talents and capabilities can be revived. When there's a way, there's a will.
Education is a tree that grows in the mind, is narrow in the heart, and gives the fruit with the tongue. As a friend, it is my duty and my responsibility to help Pawan in his difficult times. I sympathize with my friend's situation, but it is also important to remember that giving him money to buy the semester's paper would be indirectly encouraging him to cheat, and this could lead to serious conditions, and he could deteriorate his academic and professional career. Furthermore, by giving him money, I would be his accomplice, and I would face disciplinary charges, and I could jeopardize my own career. Furthermore, uh, the stress on students is tremendous, and this kind of stress converts and this kind of failure converts their stress into trauma, and this trauma breaks their mental limit, and it pushes them to end their own life in severe cases. um, it is my duty to make Pawan feel relaxed, and things are never quite as scary when you've got a friend by your side. Furthermore, It is my duty to help him in bad times, help him improve his mental health, keep him physically fine, make him feel comfortable in sharing his secrets, boost his self confidence, give him a reality check once or twice, and support him in his endeavors. By helping him, I would be corroding the very fabric of morality. And by doing all the things that I just mentioned, I would definitely help Pavan get better grades in the semester. And furthermore, it would benefit him in his placements. Thank you. Over to Mahi.
It may not be the easiest solution, but it is the most correct one. We all are aware with the saga of Mahabharata. In Mahabharata, Karna was the most unfortunate character. Throughout his life, he was insulted by everybody and was mocked by a derogatory term, Sutputra. One of the most famous ancient history examples of friendship is of Karna and Duryodhan, where Karna symbolized dharma and Duryodhan symbolized adharma. Karn, having the knowledge of Vedas and the scriptures of law, knew that dharma always empowers adharma. And in this dharam yudh, the ultimate victory will be attained by Pandavas, the epitome of law and righteousness. Even though we all wish for a friend like Karna, who was loyal to Duryodhan till his very last breath, however, walking on an unethical path like him is never the right way out. According to our ancient history, Karna tried to help Duryodhan while he was involved in some unethical practices. Doing so, Karna also became a part of those unethical practices. Today, we have an option or more or less an obligation to help our friend in whatever needs he requires our help so. But the path of righteousness dictates that we should not help him financially for such petty gains. Rather, we should help him build confidence through wisdom, which will differentiate between what is right and what is wrong. We stand by him completely, and we will ensure that our friend walks on the right path, so that ultimately Pavan triumphs in the Mahabharata of life. With this, we Team A rest our case. Jai Hind.
That was a wonderful deliberation by you people, and the way you put forward the points from the ancient history were also very nice. So, without wasting time, I would like to give 2 minutes to confer to Team B and come out with their comments and questions. So, Team B, 2 minutes for you starts now. So time's up. Team B, are you ready with your comments? Kindly put forward your points, and you have a time limit of 5 minutes. So kindly take care of the time also. Yes, Team B.
Yes. Thank you for the lovely presentation. At the end of the tunnel, there is light somewhere, a light of hope, a light of reason, a light to guide us to safety and right path of light from the dark. And we call that light as friendship. Yes, I completely agree to the points put forward by you. But as Speaker 3 mentioned, Pawan was not in a bad health. He was trying to convince you, be given the excuses. So, firstly, I would really advise you to read the case study a bit more precisely. And secondly, we do not choose our family, but we do choose our friends. So, being a good friend, I believe that I am actually supposed to help him. And if he's asking me for some help, don't you think that if you won't help him, that would actually affect your relationship, your friendship with him? Passing it on to Anaya.
And a wonderful presentation. Indeed, you should help your friends to stay the right path and follow ethical ways. But
I'm sorry to interrupt, but you're not audible properly.
okay, ma'am, is this
I am
better?
really sorry. No, it's not clear at all.
Is it better now?
Yes, you may. The other person, please mute so that we can hear this person. Yes, you speak.
Is it audible now? Am I audible?
Yes. I
Can
think
you
if you
please
remove your
keep the
headphones, that
microphone
will
a bit
be
close
better.
to your mouth because the volume is really low. I'm really sorry.
Okay. Is it better now?
Kindly remove your headphones. I think that will be better.
Am I audible now, everyone?
Yes, it's right now.
Yes, yes.
So yes, a friend in need is a friend indeed. It's the right quote. You should always help your friend follow the ethical and the right path. But here you said if there was an educational loan that all the speaker number 3 mentioned, an educational loan and a fund that could be put in by all of the students and your friends combined, my dear opponents, it says that he needs money to buy the semester papers. So aren't you, by giving him funds for studying and for buying books, don't you think he would misuse it in and put the money somewhere else? Also, help seeking. It's mentioned there that the exam is very soon. How much do you think that you could help him? Also, just pass. You speaker number 3 also mentioned just pass the exam. We all know at a college level to get a good job, especially in his financial condition, he needs to be in the merit list. He needs to work hard and he needs to be in the creme of the creme. So also you did not mention what the legal repercussions for Pawan would be. Yes, you did mention that you would have to pay a fine as an accomplice, but what are the legal repercussions that Pawan would have to face? And what is the epitome of law and righteousness, right? Also, there was a little bit of contradiction that was done by Speaker 1 when she was concluding. So I think that finishes our comments. I would like to pass it on to Ananya and Erika for the question.
Thank you, Anaya. As my dear opponents have already mentioned the great story of Mahabharata, I would like to enlighten them and all of you a bit more. In the epic Mahabharata, we did see the friendship of Karan and Duryodhana, and they were very, very close friends. But I would like to tell you that during the battle, Lord Krishna told him the real definition of dharma. He told him that he was the eldest brother of Yudhishthira and Pandavas, and he should support the Pandavas. But he did not. Even though knowing that he was on the wrong side, but just for the sake of friendship, he did not leave the Kauravas. So why cannot do the same thing for the sake of friendship in this case? And also, in the great Ramayana also, Ram helped his friend Sugriv, taking help of unethical means or cheating. If our great gods also did it for their friends, and it was justified at that time, then why not in this case? Passing it on to Erika for the next question.
Thank you, Ananya. And thank you, opposition team, for the ethically right decisions that you have made. And I do completely agree with you. But how beautiful is it that your team contradicts itself in every way? Well, the last team member of your team, they said that they would not provide them with financial help because that will, make him go down the wrong path. But the third presenter said that the college will collect the funds and provide him financial support. And how beautiful, my dear opponents, is it when you only see one side of the coin, when it's all roses and butterflies and rainbows and sunshine, but you never mentioned what would happen. You never saw the opposite side, or maybe you just ignored it because, well, you might think that it's convenient, just like Pavan thought of it to be the convenient option. When you said that you will give him a chance to explain himself and you will help him through his hard times, what if he lies to you? What if he molds of facts and then lies to you? Because it's very easy to lie you as a friend. And you said that failure, you will tell him that failure is not the end of the world and you will provide him moral conscience and all that support that he needs. What if he flunks the exam and not get a job? And what if he's never able to repay his loan? And also, you said that you will provide him in confidence and you will tell him that you can do it, but what if he's not able to cope up with the pressure? As it is, you have seen that he cannot do it. So what have you done for this? That's my question. Thank you.
So yes, APS Mathura, are you clear with the questions?
Ma'am, the very first thing that we'd like to request as a team, if the opponent team members could please slow their pace down so that we can at least understand the questions. And if they could please repeat the questions, it would be of great help.
Yes,
Thank you.
APS Udhampur, kindly repeat your question. APS Udhampur, kindly repeat your question.
So my question was that as you mentioned the story of Mahabharata, so I told you that Krishna told Karan the real definition of dharma, and he told him that he was the elder brother of Yudhishthira and he should support the Pandavas, but he did not, even though knowing that he was on the wrong side, but just did that for the sake of friendship, and he did not leave the Kauravas. So why not we do the same thing for the sake of friendship in this case? And also, I did mention that in Ramayana, also Ram helped his friend Sugriv, taking help of unethical means or cheating. So, if our great gods like Karan and Ram did that, so why not us in this case?
And for my question, opponent team, I said that you already mentioned one side of what would be the alternatives if you help Pavan, but you never mentioned the opposite side. You mentioned all the alternatives that were sunshines and rainbows, but you never mentioned the flip side of your alternatives. What if after you tell him that you cannot help him financially, what if he lies to you and molds the facts? What if he flunks his exam and not get a job? What if he's unable to pay his loans because he was already dependent on you? And what if he's not able to cope up with the pressure? Because as it is, you would have seen he's given into the pressure and he was resorting to the unfair means. And he also may become habitual of others' help and the ease of access to resources. You will be setting wrong precedent for him to the future. And you will be helping him now and he'll not be able to, he will become dependent on others for help. That is what I'm trying to say. And I hope that you've understood my question now. So that's all.
Could you please sum up your question in 2 lines? It was a
Yes, could you
long
please
story. I
put
just
up
want a
one
question.
question? I think also I was thinking. Kindly put a brief one question, please.
Right. So you just mentioned one side of the alternatives. I would like to suggest what would you do, if the flip side of the coin where he becomes dependent on you because you provided him the help that he needs now.
Is it clear? They just wanted to get to know about the other side.
Thank you.
I hope both the questions are
If
clear.
it's fine, I'll just repeat the question that the last speaker has just spoke. That I believe they're asking that what if Pavan was dependent on us and he's seeking help again after all the measures that we provided.
Yeah, and for the future as well, when he passes from his college and he's done with his graduation, when he gets a job ahead in the future, what if even then he's dependent on others for help? He will resort to unfair means even then.
Thank you for the question.
All right.
I hope it is clear to you. Okay, so you are
Yes,
given 2 minutes to confer. Kindly come back with your reply. So, Team A, your time is over, and I hope you're ready with your reply. All the best. Kindly put your comments. Your time starts now, and you will be given 5 minutes to reply.
Thank you for the questions. Starting with the first question that was primarily on Mahabharata and Ramayana, the contradictions. I believe I was not clear enough for the opponent team members. I'd like to repeat that in my case study, in our case study, we've already mentioned that even though Karn helped Duryodhan a- um, and stayed as a loyal friend till his very last breath, we cannot choose the path of unethical practices in order for our friendship to stay alive. Also, what happened in Mahabharata was for the greater good of the community. It was not for any individual practice. Second of all, it's Karna, it's not Karan also. And Karn also told Krishna, Lord Krishna, that Duryodhan was by his side when his family, when his parents, when his mother abandoned him. And that's why Karn stood by him all till his very last breath and stayed as a loyal friend.
I think you didn't hear my presentation right. I mentioned that if he gets caught buying the buying the semester's paper, he would face serious repercussions which could affect his academic and professional career at the same time. And most of the colleges in India don't have this liberty. Don't The students don't have the liberty to buy, because if they are caught, um, in certain cases they are expelled from the college. And as my friend mentioned earlier, that to help him get better grades in the semester, we would of course help him financially. We would host group studies and ask the college professors to give a one-on-one session to the child in need. And of course we won't overdo it. And we know that we would guide Pavan on the right path of righteousness as Lord Rama. We are subjects of the Lord. Okay, so Lord Rama is known as Maryada Purushottam. Okay, so he guides us to walk on the path of righteousness. So we would guide Pavan to walk on the path of righteousness, and of course uh, we won't let him we won't let him walk on the path of we won't let him walk on the unethical path. Thank you.
Also, if Pavan is still dependent on others, even our best help. So, one quote I would like to tell you is, what's in our hand is the means, not the end, quoted by Gandhi ji. So, we can try our best to improvise the conditions of him, and we can do our best. We can change his present habits so that it can have impact on the future. But what happens in the future, we don't know.
And once he gets the job and he has the means to a proper and permanent income, he'll obviously work even more harder. We're just guiding him. We can just make a horse go to the well. We're not making him drink. We're just helping him. Thank you.
Is that it from your side? Thank you so much. Wonderful reply by the team A. And I would like to request both the teams that whenever you complete your comments, you have to tell that this is it from your side, because since the time is still left, so we might be thinking that you have some more things to say. So whenever you complete your comment anywhere, you have to tell ma'am that it's over now. Okay, right? So thank you so much. You really, both the teams did well. And I'm really want to, motivate here that you both are doing excellently, wonderfully well. I am sure you will be taking the judges' questions also in a wonderful manner. Okay, both the teams are doing well. So I would like to come very fast to our first jury member, Mrs. Bharti Mankani. So, ma'am, can you hear me? Could you please?
Yeah. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Madhavi. Yes, it is rightly said. You don't win a debate by suppressing discussions. You win it with a better argument. And that is what is very clear with the way the team A presented, and then team B put up the questions, and then the reply which came back from team A again. Yes, I believe the confidence with which you all have replied is actually, very evident that with it is very evident that you are sticking to the opinion which you have kept in forward before the jury members and before your friends. One small question, Bache. The question from my side is, you all have stressed, you all believe in ethical values. And of course, ethical values are very correct. We have to, keep the ethics and the values alive in our life, so that not only we, but we can also be good guiding persons to our friends, to the people all around. But then, where do you rate the relationship, the term relationship in this? So is it that only ethics and values have to be kept on top? Personal relationship, whether it is with your friend, whether it is your parents, whether it is with your siblings, or whether it be with other known person, is also important and have to be given the importance when it is a need of the time. So a simple question, where do you rate the word relationship if always ethics has to be kept on top? Yes, over to you all.
Yes, Team A, is it clear to you? Ma'am, is it clear to you? The question is clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. You are given 2 minutes to confer and come back with your reply after that. एक मिनट वो बंद करोगे? Okay, so time's over for you. Are you ready with the answer?
Yes, ma'am.
Your mic is okay.
Yes, ma'am. Are we audible now? Am I audible?
एक minute. Okay, there is no time limit for this. You can reply in any time.
Am I audible, ma'am?
Yes, you're audible.
Thank you so much for the question, ma'am. Thank you so much for the question. I'd like to answer the question in the following manner. As we've mentioned, relationships are a key factor of our lives. They're the very primary thing that we see whenever when we are born and when we enter this world. However, with relationships comes various responsibilities. And to maintain those responsible relationships, we can't let our friend follow or walk on an unethical path. Ethical practices, following ethical practices may seem that they're not working for the time being, but they'll have long term effects. As we've mentioned in our case study, the ways through which we'll help Pavan will for sure give him or make his future more secure and in a better manner. If we help Pavan walk the dark path of unethical practices, we will drop him into a dust way of wrong decisions.
If we take the example from the given case study, if we lend Pavan the money to buy the semester's paper with unfair means, we would be able to pass Pavan in the semester's exam and get him placed in a very good company. But in the long term of his life, he would lose his moral culture, righteousness, and which would take him down the path of unethical values and would not give him success in the long term. Thank you.
As we also said earlier in our presentation, that we would imbibe confidence in him so that the best of his skills can come out. We are done. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So, Bhati ma'am, would you like to add something here?
Yeah, that was great. But then, don't you think that time, the point of time at which this help is sorted from your friend to you, is actually important? Because at that moment, he is looking only towards how to clear and to get through so that all other problems which he is facing in his life could be met with. So, don't you think the time factor here is something which guides, which may be, a main thing which would actually should make you think that it is a time where you should help your friend?
Yes, Time. Is the question clear to you?
Yes, ma'am.
Kindly reply.
Can we discuss for a while? If
I
that's
think
fine.
this is a cross question. It's up to our judges if they say.
Okay, ma'am. Just allow them to think and reply.
Okay, ma'am. Sure.
Thank you so much for the patience, ma'am. Ma'am, as we believe that the easiest path is not always the most correct path. It might be that that we'll help him we'll financially help him to cheat in examination. He might even get a job and go on with his life, but we don't know what the future has in store for him and for us. And as we mentioned in our presentation earlier, if we help him with to walk on those unethical platforms and on those unethical paths, there will be legal repercussions. I believe and I completely agree with you that it's a very crucial time of his life, and we believe that at this time Pavan needs our support. For that, we're open to talk to him. We're open to provide him with counseling sessions if he requires, with therapy sessions. This will also help in increase key factor, that is mental awareness and mental health. There'll be an awareness regarding his mental health. We'll also get to know what he's going through mentally, as we're aware of his physical circumstances.
Is it done?
And it's I'm sorry, we just had some technical issues. Also, it is human tendency that when we are supposed to choose from from a difficult path or a right or an easy path, we go on to the easy path in the heat of the moment. But I believe if we try and if we be patient, give time to the situation, there are always good things waiting for us. Good things take time. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, team. You are really doing a good churning of the things, and this is all what we look forward, that you're going to the depth of the situation. And I'm so good to hear all this from you. Next, we have on the panel the jury member, Mrs. Alka Vasthi. So I would like to request ma'am to kindly put up with your points, um, your query to our team.
Well, wonderful to hear these young kids, speaking about personal relations versus our professional ethics. Well, I would just like to ask you one plain, simple question. When we talk about righteousness, being righteous, so who decides what is being and who is being righteous?
Is it clear to
That's
you,
it,
APS?
clear. Yes.
Okay. You are given 2 minutes to confer. So kindly take your time and come back then. So, Team A, kindly put forward your points.
Thank you so much for the question, ma'am. That was a really insightful question. We believe that the determination of righteousness is subjective to one's values, beliefs, and situations. It's nothing objective, and it may vary from person to person and situation to situation per se. Also, the our righteousness depends on our inner consciousness and our moral values taught to us by our parents, teachers, and elders. Thank you.
Alka ma'am, would you like to add something?
Yes, very well brought out. But you think integrity also forms a part of being righteousness?
Yes, it is, Mathura.
We do very well agree with you that integrity is a very important part of righteousness, as it is based on the quality of being honest and having strong moral principles. That's what the name means. Also, integrity is a strong sense of personal responsibility to act with moral and ethical consistency. So we do agree that integrity is also a very important, very a key factor on the path of righteousness.
Well, thank you. Very well brought out. And also you are saying that conformity to what one believes is what integrity is all about. Well, thank you. Back to you.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, team, and thank you so much, ma'am. Now I would like to move next to our worthy sir. Definitely he has gone through so much of keen details of the Vedas and all those things, so he'll be very well able to talk to our children. So over to you, Colonel Karan Kharab sir.
Okay. See, firstly, I'm indeed very much impressed, and I'm very happy to hear various views, and largely the views of these students are very enlightened, are perhaps more mature than I would expect at this stage. However, they are now on the threshold of building up their career. So therefore, I will ask a question. Perhaps I think I will put it in somewhat in different manner and address you a serious question about life itself. You have discussed the situation in this, that Pawan is in dire need. He's a poor guy and perhaps has the responsibility to support his poor parents, maybe ailing, maybe having dependent brothers or sibling sisters, and other responsibilities also. You happen to be, by God's grace, more blessed. You are financially well off. You could perhaps help him out in helping him resettle to start his career. He has a dream about his career. He wants to have a shortcut and he wants to jump across to immediate success. If you could help, maybe what appears today, it will bind you together as better friends? Or will you be proud forever in life for helping him in this? Or will feel sorry forever for not helping him now at this moment? This is my question. Is my question clear, Faustin?
Okay. You can take 2 minutes to confer and come back with your reply. Yes, so team AP's Mathura, kindly put forward your points.
Thank you so much for the question, sir. Um, there's a famous saying that I am sure you must have heard it. You have to be fair if life is not fair with you. Of saying which is directly on the situation and circumstances that Pawan is facing. Coming to your question, we'll be happy and contented that and we believe that we've done the right thing by encouraging Pawan to walk on the righteous path. We'll always be satisfied that he is not a part of any unethical practices or is not on a wrong path. And we do believe that if we help him uh, for the time being, he'll always have the habit to go from the easy way out. If he starts working, if he'll work hard for his semester examinations, there'll be a possibility and there is a high probability that he'll work hard in his near future as well. Thank you.
Hello, sir, am I audible?
Yeah.
I would like to add on to what Mahi said. First of all, by not helping him jump the gun, we would be inculcating working hard in his habits. And for example, if he doesn't get placed in a very good company, he would still have the habit of working hard, and he would definitely work hard in the future and get his dream job, sir. Thank you so much.
We as a team also believe that the beautiful destinations always have the hardest paths.
Also, we'll not regret in future because we'll make him able to choose the best path possible, not the easiest path possible.
And sir, even if he doesn't get a placement after his semester exams, he has a great set of skills and he would surely do best in his life. We have many examples of this in our life. Actually, we can see examples on YouTube. Like we have Elon Musk. He used to work for PayPal, and he's now the one of the richest man in the world. So thank you. We are done with our answer, sir. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much. Karan sir, would you like to add something up here?
I think, would you seek out comments later, or could we say that now?
Repeat.
No, the question is over. Question from my side is over. You want me to say something on it?
All yours, sir. All yours, sir.
Okay, just students, one thing. I'm again from the answers. Again, I'm very happy to hear this and that kind of a character building in you. I'm happy and proud of you all, and God bless you. Will all be doing very well in life. But just one mention, as I would think, what is the test really for ethical path or unethical path? What actually decides, or who actually decides it? Perhaps in my way of thinking, if you were ever to sit down and think, like this friend of yours, he will not only now of course, he would very secretly and surreptitiously, only between you and him, is the talk. He can't afford to flare it up in the entire school or in the entire college, wherever in your hostel system you are living. And he will be always shy to tell others about how he managed this kind of smuggling of the paper and purchased by giving money. And he will never in life not even be able to speak about this reality even to his own children. Whereas the tougher way of life is definitely, it might take longer, it might become somewhat for some time, maybe more arduous, maybe more hard and difficult, but the success achieved through ordeal, through your hard work and endeavor, that success will always make you proud. And you will, every time you have, at least if quickly I can mention here, you have already industrialists in the country, and in the Elon Musk, you have mentioned one. There are others who have done wonders in this world, right from achievement in invention in the field of inventions also. There are a lot of great inventions which are born out of serendipity, went in the right direction. They were not making any success, but their toil, their hard work resulted in a lot of wonder. Penicillin is one example. There are so many other examples of great achievements in the field of science also like that. At present, even in the political arena, which is so dirty today in the country and all over the world, today, at least there are, I will not, let us not discuss any names or any parties here, but I will just say only this much, that there are two leaders today who have risen from a very, very poor background, very humble background, in fact, poorer than what you would ever believed to be, perhaps from the level of even the maids working in your homes are far richer than their mothers were, and they are perhaps the apple of everybody's eyes today. They are commanding so much of respect in the society, in the political arena also, across party lines also. So such are very few leaders. Most of them are corrupt. But so therefore, corruption or unethical means lead only to ultimate disasters. Somewhere or the other down the line, one gets caught. And I will not go out of the time. So that's what I thought it would be appropriate to bring all this to your notice. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much for your insightful and kind words. Certainly, we really require such in such ethical dilemmas. We really need to ponder upon ourselves and come out with the practical things. Just yesterday, I was hosting a session, and one of the jury members quoted a very great words. They were, going through my mind that in most of the situations we just react. We do not act, right? So we do not have to react in our life, we have to act in the most ethical and the moral ways. And while going through this case study, I was just made to remember of the Three Idiots scene. I thought that somebody would come might not come out with those things. So in Three Idiots we have gone through such kind of situation, but I'm happy that our students have taken up the right moral path. And this was really a wonderful session with all of you, all the jury members, both the teams, their helping hands, their teachers, technical team, and everybody was so cooperative. And we are really thankful to you for being here. And now we'll see you all after a break of 15 minutes. So take a break, and we'll be back after 15 minutes. Thank you so much, everyone. 25. So welcome back, everyone. Kindly turn on your cameras. Okay, that's so good to see you back again. I hope both the teams are ready again. I would like to quote few lines up here. कुछ परिंदे उड़ रहे हैं आंधियों के सामने, कुछ परिंदे उड़ रहे हैं आंधियों के सामने, उनमें हौसला होगा जरूर। इसी तरह अगर बढ़ते रहे तो देखना तय समुंदर तक एक दिन फासला होगा जरूर। So welcome back everyone once again, and I would like to congratulate Team A for having completed such a wonderful session, first cycle, and we are looking forward to Team B for the next cycle, and I'm sure they will also show a brilliant performance. So without wasting any further time, I would like to read the case study for you. I hope all are ready. So the case study for you, Team B, is development versus environmental and human rights. You are the managing director of Metro Rail Corporation MRC of a metropolitan city. You have received orders and funding for construction of the metro track and a parking space in a densely forested area of the city, with houses of few underprivileged families as well in it. For the construction, the forest has to be cleared and the families have to be moved to some other place. The locals have started a protest after knowing about the order. They are highly raged about cutting down thousands of trees. The affected families have also joined them because the forest holds emotional value for them. On the other hand, the minister who directly controls the MRC is pressurizing you to start the felling process as soon as possible. You know that going against his orders will have serious repercussions. I hope the case study is clear to you. Now the question for you is, suggest a course of action you would like to follow. Okay. Suggest the rule of action you would like to follow. So Team B, are you ready with your presentation? You may start.
Yes, ma'am.
You are given 10 minutes. After 8 minutes, a ring will be bell for the reminder. You may start now.
Deforestation. Deforestation, a ruthless act, affects our world in ways exact. A climate change, soil erosion with domino effect, with no diversion. Greetings, everyone. People sometimes wonder, why save trees? Why preserve trees? But don't you think trees are also living organisms that respond to what is done to them and to the environment that they occupy? Every year, 15.3 billion trees are cut down. Want to know something scarier? Over the past 12,000
I'm
years,
really sorry to interrupt,
46%.
Team B. Kindly slow down your pace, and your voice is not clear. I would request you to remove the headset, please. It's not clear.
Oh, all right. All right, all right.
Thank you.
Ma'am, could you please? Am I audible?
Yes, you are audible. Kindly continue.
Yes. Deforestation, a ruthless act, affects our world in ways exact. Climate change, soil erosion, a domino effect with no diversion. Greetings, everyone. People sometimes wonder, why save trees? Why preserve trees? But don't you think trees are also living organisms that respond to what is done to them and to the environment that they occupy? Every year, 15.3 billion trees are cut down. Want to know something?
One between, but I think your camera is off. Is the participant one visible to others? Now you're visible.
No, ma'am.
Yeah, just a
I
second.
request you to take the presentation from the beginning.
Yes, just a second. Ma'am, could you please reset the timer?
Again, Sri.
The camera, you're not visible again. I'm sorry.
Yes, you're not visible again. Beta, I've already, reset the timer. Don't worry about the time. You just continue and keep your things, ready, mics and videos.
Yes.
Okay, you may continue.
Deforestation, a ruthless act, affects our world in ways exact. Climate change, soil erosion, a domino effect with no diversion. Greetings, everyone. People sometimes wonder, why save trees? Why preserve trees? Huh, but don't you think trees are also living organisms that respond to what is done to them and to the environment that they occupy? Every year, 15.3 billion trees are cut down. Want to know something scarier? For the past 12,000 years, 46% of the world's trees have been cleared out. Now, more than ever, we need to stand together to help reverse the damage of deforestation. I sometimes wonder, why is there a notion that without the cutting down of trees, development can't take place? I can go on listing ways for development where trees aren't harmed. In the given case study, me and my teammates strongly believe that yes, development is a really essential aspect for a nation. But at what cost? At the cost of cutting trees? Never. The ethical issues. Just imagine, just for a cause of development, will you put at stake the sustainability of life, which cannot be neglected at any costs? Secondly, development cannot be done on the cost of marginalized sections, and their rights should be safeguarded no matter what. So evicting people from their homes is not just the right solution. Firstly, I believe a proper two-way communication should be established between the protesters and the authorities so that both the sides get due chance to present their views. Therefore, I, being the MRF, will also look out for alternatives so the development isn't affected, and same for the Mother Nature. They are homes to birds and beasts alike. Without them, the world will never thrive. Let's plant more trees and spread the word to save our planet. We must move forward. So let's join hands and make a pledge to save our trees, our world. We must hedge. For a life without trees is a life without joy. So let's save them all, every girl and every boy. Passing it on to Anaya.
Thank you so much, Myra. I hope I'm visible and audible.
Yes.
Vrikshan chitva pashun hitva kritva rudir kardamam yagyavem gamashyate swarge narakah ken gamayate. A Sanskrit shloka taken from the Gita, which means, after tearing down trees, massacring animals, after creating Maya, is this how heaven is attained? Then who attains hell? We need to stop using development as an excuse for such sin and such brutality. Are we the only ones who are chosen to make sacrifices for a nation? Stated by the tribals of Rihand who had to bear the brunt of the Narmada Dam case. Why is it that only the marginalized and the underprivileged sections are always targeted for such projects? Under the right to fair compensation and transparency in Land Acquisition and Rehabilitation and Resettlement Act, or also known as the Land Acquisition Act of 2013, it guarantees the land rights of the indigenous people of India. The road can divert, but that tree stays. Respected jury, let us take a look at the RA case, a very similar situation. The RA forest is a part of the Sanjay Gandhi National Park. It takes hundreds of years for an ecosystem like this to be built. The government, in this case, wanted to cut down one of the only left green lungs of Maharashtra. The government can only acquire property if they follow the procedure of law, and the Supreme Court imposed a fine of 10 lakh on the MRC for this encroachment. Trees are a life source, and the people residing in RA recognize this. They stood tall, they weren't afraid, and they didn't falter. They knew that they were doing something right. Why should we fight for the ecosystem? Why should I even go out of the way to do something so menial? Just saving a couple of trees, is it? Something so small. My dear friends, no matter how small it may seem, change will always have a positive effect on life. I pass it on to Ananya.
Thank you, Anaya. Amidst the rubble and the dust lies the remnants of what was once just. A home, a life, a place to stay, now torn apart and cast away. They came with their grand plans, their promises, their demands of progress, of development, of growth, of betterment. But what of us? the ones displaced, left with nothing, our lives erased. I don't think any one of us here can even begin to understand what the pain of the displaced can be like. You tell me, if you are ripped off of your homes and now you have nowhere to go, how would you feel? In Uttarakhand, tribes were displaced in the making of Vyasi Dam. Let's hear what they had to say about this great development project. I quote, upliftment? What upliftment for us? We've been destroyed. What development would happen to us? They took away our homes from us. We have wept so much for the past 9 days that no more tears are left. Our motherland, our village is no more with us. We have nothing at all. Our holy places, the temples we had, the village, our tradition, our rituals, everything is finished. Those were the branches of the trees our culture was once built on. You all must know that trees hold high religious significance in Hinduism. Our ancestors and even today, many of our grandparents believe that trees are the origin of life. We worship trees and plants like neem, peepal, tulsi, etc. for God's sake. Isn't the pain people endured to save trees decades ago, like that in Chipko movement, going into vain now? We plead, we beg, we cry, but they turn a deaf ear and pass us by, ignoring our pain, our plight, as they continue to bulldoze with all their might. What are we leading towards today? And for all the so-called animal lovers, I agree that we need big buildings, wide highways, dams, and malls, but not at the expense of chopping down trees, sacrificing their lives, and stealing away others' homes, those innocent animals' homes, right? The world is losing 137 species of plants, animals, and insects every day to deforestation. A horrifying 50,000 species become extinct each year. Do we even think of anyone else's sufferings other than our own? They say you can relocate to some other place, but how can they leave this land that they embrace? Their memories are there, their ancestors too. This is where they belong. This is what they hold true. Thank you very much. Passing it on to Erica.
I would like to quote a Kashmiri saying, Gara bandai, gara sasa, gara nirha, nasa. It translates to, oh home, I offer you 1,000 houses, and I will never go out from you, meaning there's no place like home. The purpose of development, ladies and gentlemen, is a rise in the level of quality of life of the population without damaging the resources of the environment. Nowadays, when sustainable development is the prime concern for all the nations, we would like to suggest some alternatives also as a course of action so that the cutting of these 1,000 trees for the sake of the so-called development can be prevented. Firstly, macro level responsible site planning and zoning, considering the existing location of trees on site, can avoid the unnecessary cutting down of trees. Rerouting, which is cost efficient and involves less trees being cut, is also an effective measure for the specific case study. A highlight by Sri T.S.R. Subramaniam has recommended the creation of a new umbrella law by subsuming the existing environmental laws. Taxation in the revenue land should be modified to from the existing 1:1 ratio. An all India service with name as India Environment Service, IES, is also created for the same reasons. A suggestion made in the Sustainable Development Goals of India was the Environment and Forest Division provides relevant strategic and technical advice across key elements of policy making and disseminates best practices to protect our environment resources, that is water, land, and specifically forest. To conclude, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to mention that for the first time in the entire human history, we see a transcending concern for the survival not just of the people, but of the entire planet. We have begun to take a holistic view of the very basis of existence. The environmental problem does not necessarily signal our demise. It is a passport for the future. The emerging new world vision has ushered in the era of responsibility. It is a holistic view and ecological view, seeing the world as an integrated whole rather than a dissociated collection of parts. Now, before ending, ladies and gentlemen, and leaving you all to think about this grievous situation that we collectively, as a community, as a nation, and as a world are facing, I'd like to quote, शहर बसाकर अब सुकून के लिए गांव ढूंढते हैं, बड़े अजीब हैं लोग, हाथ में कुल्हाड़ी लिए छांव ढूंढते हैं. It says, after settling a city, we look for peace in villages. How weird is that? We carry an axe everywhere and then look for shade. Thank you.
That was a wonderful performance. So great words, things quoted by all of you. A great team spirit, wonderful. So I would like to come back to the team A now, that you may put forward your comments. You are given 2 minutes to confer and come back with your question to team B. And just tell me, let me tell you one thing, you're not supposed to turn off your camera at any time during the event. So please make sure you all people have your cameras turned on during the whole session, please. Yes. Team A, your time starts now. Yes, your time is over, and kindly put forward your comments and question. You are given 5 minutes to deliver that. Your time starts now and put up your points.
Thank you so much for the presentation, Team A. Though we were expecting some of the solutions that you would enlighten us with, we'll help you with those solutions as to how you'll help with the environment. As the managing director of MRC, it is important to consider that ethical issues involved and take a course of action that is responsible and fair. In this situation, we would choose the third option and proceed with the construction while minimizing the environmental impact and finding a way to accommodate the affected families, as we as a team believe that all problems do have a solution. To do this, we would consult with environmental experts to find ways to minimize the number of trees that need to be cut down and implement measures to mitigate the impact on the environment. We would also work with social welfare organizations to find suitable accommodations for the affected families and provide them with support during the relocation process. In addition, we would communicate openly and transparently with the protesters and affected families, explaining the steps we are taking to minimize the impact on the environment and accommodate to their needs. We would also engage in a dialogue with the minister to explain the concerns of the protesters and the steps that we are taking to address them. By taking a responsible and an ethical approach, we can surely minimize the impact on the environment and the affected families while still fulfilling the orders and funding requirements of the projects and the upcoming needs of the society. I believe that team A, the team B mentioned that they believe in sustainable development, but how will you ensure that development is practiced on ground? Even in the case of array forests, the Mumbai court allowed them to cut down 84 trees while 177 trees were cut. How will you ensure that sustainable development takes place on ground? It's all in theory, it's all in principles.
Yes, we do agree with your points, but we as a team believe that the construction of metro track should take place as the benefits are enormous over the cost of immediate human displacement and environmental disruptions. As my teammate mentioned, that while undertaking this project, we have to keep in mind that minimum trees should be cut down and the affected families should be accommodated in a better place. In the age of technology, rapid industrialization and urbanization are indispensable steps which are taken by countries across the globe to emerge as economic powers and increase their per capita income with minimum harm to the environment. And my question to speaker one is that you said in your presentation that no matter what, you wouldn't prioritize development over cutting down of trees. So, how would you comply with the minister's demands, and what steps will you take to make sure that minimum number of trees are being cut down and the affected families are relocated in a better environment and are getting all the necessary accommodations? And my research team would like to ask a question as well.
Am I audible?
Yes, yes, you are continuing.
Right. So, since you described the pains of the family and all the people living in the jungles very vividly, so what processes can you propose that these people should be relocated with better ways, since these people are mostly relocated to slums and areas with very bad sanitations. So I'm asking my question once again: what ways do you propose that these people should be migrated?
We'd like to conclude our commentary by saying that you mentioned in your presentation that development is for the rise of standards. According to you, is this the only reason? Is development not making various things like transportation or access to market easier? Is it only for the rise of standards? Thank you.
Was it all? Thank you so much, APS Mathura. I hope the question is clear to APS Udhampur.
Excuse me. So the question is, how will we ensure that development takes place on the ground, right? And this question that was asked to speaker one, am I right?
Is it so?
Am I audible?
Yes, you are.
Yeah. My question to speaker one was that you mentioned in your presentation that no matter what happens, you wouldn't prioritize development over cutting down of trees. So my question is, how would you comply to the minister's demands, and what steps will you take as the managing director of MRC to make sure that minimum number of trees are being cut down and the families that were affected are being relocated in a better environment and are being provided all the necessary accommodations? Thank you. Is my question clear to you?
Thank you so much. Yes, it is. Thank you so much.
So is it fine for you? So let's take a 2 minutes to confer and get back to you, APS Udhampur. Get ready with your answer then. Your time starts now. So are you ready with your answer? Yes, APS Udhampur, Team B, you are given 5 minutes to present your comments. And your time starts now.
Thank you so much for your questions. But firstly, our stance was to not let the encroachment take place, and the questions that you've asked are not related to our stance at all. So I suggest that you listen to our presentation better next time. As far as you said ki, how will you ensure that sustainable development will take place, and how are you going to relocate the people and ensure that they don't end up in slums and those degradatory areas, and what is the role of ministers, right? I'm every single one, our whole team as a collective said that we were completely against the fact that they should be changing the and they should be cutting down the trees. But I really don't know where these questions are coming from. I would like to pass it on to Erica now.
Thank you, Anaya. And thank you, opposition team, for your questions. But I really hope that you ask your questions very carefully next time. You are all asking for almost the same thing. I mean, you're all asking for alternatives. And firstly, you're questioning just for the sake of questioning. All your questions are the same, and all your questions, I guess you have predetermined what you wanted to ask. You have not even bothered listening to the speech. Now, anyway, since you want an answer, I'll give my answer to you. So, and also, you are putting my points into your words. It's really just the same thing. And well, if you want me to answer, then I'll answer it for you. Alternatives, I suggest at macro level, responsible site planning and zoning, considering the existing location, can avoid the unnecessary cutting down of trees. You also suggest about taking a different route to put the railway tracks where the less trees are being cut. I did mention that. If you had bothered listening to me, I mentioned the second fact that was in my speech, that rerouting, which is cost efficient and involves less trees being cut, is also an effective measure for the specific case study. And also, we have mentioned all about the Sri T.S.R. Subramaniam cases, and also we were in favor of development, but also not at the compromisation of the environment. So I really hope that you would listen to our speeches really carefully next time, and not question just for the sake of questioning, because, well, that takes away the whole fun and the whole point about ethics board. Now passing it over to my fellow team member for answering your question.
Balance is not something you create. It's not what you find, it's something you create. Balancing economic development and environmental protection requires a refocusing of economic activity, not towards producing less, but producing.
Am I audible right now?
Yes.
Sure. I'll start over again. Balance is something not you find, it's something that you create. Balancing economic development and environmental protection requires a refocusing of economic activity, not towards producing less, but producing differently. As you mentioned, that should development not take place? Well, we have seen developed countries carrying out huge industrial expansions to violate the living spaces of all the poor people. It is a well-known fact that development activities are a must to meet the requirements of the burgeoning population. So instead of totally prohibiting all the development activities, it is advisable to carry out all the development with symbiotic activities, as environmental development and protection and economic activity coexist with each other. Passing it on to Myra.
Thank you so much for the lovely questions. First of all, I clearly mentioned that development is a really important aspect for the nation, but not on the cost of cutting trees. And as for the alternative, that I guess you didn't hear what Speaker 4 said, so carefully uprooting the entire tree along with its roots and replace it on the other part of the site with the help of external support, machinery, and expert guidance. Because this process might seem tedious, but it weighs way less when compared to attempt of actually cutting down the trees for good. Though it might take a few extra days for the uprooted trees to adjust to the new soil, it's worthwhile effort in saving its life. Passing it on to Mihika.
Thank you, Myra. So, as my teammate mentioned, I would like to add some points. As per Gandhian philosophy, the public servants are the trustees of natural resources. Therefore, our development process should be inclusive of the voice of all without compromising on future developmental needs. I hope you must be satisfied with that answer. That's all from us.
We, Team A, would like to request a few points. First of all, kindly minimize the reading practices of your team and kindly
Excuse
look
me.
into the camera lens so
Excuse
that we
me.
have a
Excuse me,
virtual
Team
connect
A.
between us. Second of all, we are very
Excuse
sad that
Team
you
A.
weren't
Can you
able
hear
to
me?
understand our questions and you blame us of questioning you for the sake of questions. But I believe you always speaking as our main question was how will you encounter ministers' pressure? And well,
APS
I couldn't get any
Mathura,
matter
can
on
you
that. I'm
hear
really
me,
sorry.
please?
Also, we
Team A,
believe that you were too occupied
Team
in
A has
asking us and proving
been
us
in
wrong. You were not able to
between
prepare well on your own case study. And
Mathura.
we should also, we
Listening.
as a team believe
APS
that we should
Mathura, can you
focus on
hear us,
reality
please?
and not on emotions, let alone.
APS Mathura, can you listen, please? You have to go by the rules. You are not allowed to cross question.
Yes. So please, everybody here,
You
it's
have to be in
just
respectful dialogue. You have to go by the rules. Thank you.
I hope is it clear to everybody over here. Team B, wonderful presentation. It was really a great reply. And of course, APS Mathura, this is by the laws. It's okay. There is nothing like that. We all are friends discussing here, right? So this way we have just ended up with one.
Ma'am, I would like
Yes, ma'am.
in between. I'm so sorry, APS Mathura. See, you have to just listen to the responses of your opponent team. The judges are here to take care of all the rules, isn't it? Whether they have given the answers to the questions or whether they were agreeing, not agreeing, all these things, the judges are there to take care of. You just have to go by the rules. All right. Sorry for the interruption. Please carry
We're
on,
highly
Madhu.
apologetic for our practices.
Thank you
Thank
so much, ma'am. And definitely, this is all being taken into consideration by the worthy judges. We don't have to worry about anything. You just focus on your presentation. All other things are obviously taken. So coming back to the next thing, I request our worthy judges, the first jury member on the panel, Mrs. Bharti Mankani, ma'am, to kindly put forward your comments and your questions to our dear children.
Before I put forward my comments, I would say discussion, debates, and even arguments are fruitful when done with an open mind. So we should have open minds to accept whatever views are coming from both the sides. Yes. So Team A and Team B, I hope next time we have to be here with the discussion with a very open mind to accept the viewpoints coming from both the sides. Yes. So coming back, yes, I agree to all the points which have been taken by Team A and Team B as well. But Team B, my question is emotions or decisions? What should be your priority? I repeat, emotions or decisions? What should be the priority? Or what should be the guiding principle if you need development?
I hope this simple
All to
question is
you.
very clear to you, the team. So we give you 2 minutes to confer, think about that and come back to us. Your time starts now.
We would like to present our answer now.
Yes, you may start, please.
Thank you so much.
You're
That
given
was
5 minutes. I'm sorry, it is for the
Yes,
judges
ma'am.
round. You have your time. Take your time, please.
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, that was a truly enlightening question. Whether we should take emotions or, when it's important to take decisions. I would definitely say whenever we go into making a decision, we are human beings. We cannot completely, cancel out the emotional factor. Yes, a few decisions have to be rational, but we need to take a balanced approach. We cannot leave our emotions behind. Every single challenge that we're faced with, every single decision that we take on an everyday basis, we do not think of, we don't think of rationality every single time. Emotions always come into aspect because we are human beings. That's what keeps us human. I would like to pass it on to Tejaswini.
Thank you, Anayadi. Nature is all about balance. All the world comes in pairs, yin and yang, right and wrong, men and women. What's the pleasure without pain? Of course, emotions play a very important role in our decision making. Inner negative emotions like guilt, embarrassment often motivate the people act unethically. That's how they affect us because decisions and emotions correlate and coexist with each other. We cannot take them as two different things. Taking them sometimes would lead to disastrous events that would further lead to people being destroyed. Passing it on to Ananya Devi.
Thank you, Tejaswini. I would like to start off with a quote. Your thoughts affect your emotions affect your decisions affect your life. Yes, I agree with my team members that decision and emotions should be kept together and we need to move on with our life, both of them keeping in our mind. I will give you an example that sometimes we also need to set emotions behind and take hard decisions, and sometimes we also need to take decisions being influenced by emotions. For example, Lord Ram. Lord Ram took the most difficult decision one husband can take ever in his life. He sent Mata Sita to Vanvas. This decision could have been influenced by his emotions, but still he gave priority to a decision without emotion. So we have to work in life with both of them together. Decision and emotion should be our priority, but sometimes emotions should also lack when we are taking an important decision. Passing it on to the next team member.
Well, judges would all agree that life is a very beautiful journey, especially all the elders that are sitting here would all agree with me that life is a beautiful journey, and this journey is guided with emotions and both decisions that person has to make simultaneously. And since the time we were having all the screening rounds, we were given different case studies and the decisions had to be made. But a thing that I realized in all those practice sessions was that doing ethically right thing involves both your emotions and your decisions. So I completely agree with my fellow team members. The decision that we support that decisions and emotions both should be the guiding principle. So passing it on to my next team member.
Thank you, Erika Di. Emotions and decisions, they are a part of who we are, and when appropriately incorporated together, they can enhance the style of decision making process. We cannot leave behind the emotions because emotions help decision makers decide whether a certain element of the decision is relevant to the particular situation or not. Emotions, the role of emotions in setting the goals and in setting the motivation is very essential because we can always succeed when we have emotions along with our decisions. Passing it on to Anaya.
Thank you so much, Myra. So, as my teammate already mentioned, throughout the screening rounds, we were, brought to play with our emotions and decision and our critical thinking. We sitting in an ethics bowl. It is the few of us which are chosen to make such critical decisions. We're supposed to, think ethically and produce, valid answers. So I would definitely say when we sit down and we start, reading throughout the cases, we start preparing, we start looking at all the aspects. There's definitely emotion present in us because we are humans. We can't help it sometimes. Rationality, yes, we must add rationality, but or we should always balance out our emotions in our play, especially since we're talking about ethics here. I would pass it on to Erica now.
Thank you, Anaya. And also, judges, if we go a little back in time, when we see the time when a constitution was being made, it was a whole constitution that was made in guidance with the emotions and the decisions. At that time, our constitutions maker, they had to keep in mind both these things, the emotion of the people that were there during the time of independence, Muslims and Hindus and all the other religions. And they had to make a decision, a fair decision for them. So that decision was guided by the emotions. So I guess that would conclude your answer. Thank you.
Okay, so it's good to hear that you all believe that decisions and emotions need to be balanced, and sometimes the decisions are taken in a way which may not be in favor of all. It is sometimes favorable to some and unfavorable to some. Yeah, and we have to be there to accept the decisions taken which are on or for the betterment of the whole community. So that is what is required. And if we have moved to the present era from 1947, this is because of certain stern decisions which were taken. So sometimes we need to take decisions and move ahead. So deforestation can be taken up in that way. But yes, there are always alternatives which could help us to bring up and to mitigate, to meet all this so that there is no loss faced by the society. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for your question and the wonderful reply by the team. Moving on to our next jury member, I would request Mrs. Alka Basti, ma'am, to kindly uh, comment on their performance and kindly put forward your question, ma'am.
I would say a well-researched and also a very, the way they explained their part was commendable. And my question, I did, I was, when I was witnessing their presentation. So definitely environmental deterioration and climate change, we all have been witnessing, and they have certainly we have started experiencing irrevocable damages that have happened because and to the developmental progress made so far. So my question to you all is, how can development goals be pursued without breaching or breaking environmental regulations? Though you did mention about uprooting the tree from one place to the other. But other than that, what would you like to, tell us about development goals being pursued without breaching environmental regulations?
Right. I hope it's clear to Hitesh. And you're given 2 minutes to confer, and then we'll listen to your replies. Yes, I hope you're ready with your answer. Uh,
Yes, ma'am, we are. Thank you so much for the question. We are truly grateful for this question, and definitely that has forced us to think upon it. Now, yeah, as you mentioned, development and economic growth should go hand in hand, because symbiotic development with nature will be losing lesser money in damages due to vagaries of the environment and also lead a comfortable life. As the goal is to the path to climate mitigation is not only to slow economic growth, but economic growth that is steered towards environmental sustainability and away from the gaseous development. We, as you mentioned, we need to realize that there is no planet B. We shall take our development if there is no place to live only. Passing it on to Anayat.
Thank you so much, Tejaswini. Ma'am, as you mentioned that, we had, that we can feel the repercussions already. This year was the hottest summer. And let's take the example of Japan. It's also an OECD member, which is the Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development. So Japan and India also falls under one of these countries. So Japan's strong policy of afforestation and its drive to conserve its forests has ensured that, the forested land of Japan has not changed for 50 years. And I feel like Japan and a lot of South American countries are really good examples when for sustainable development, where development goes hand in hand with nature. Also, I would like to enlighten you with with a very common word called kaizen in Japanese, which means change for the better. And the Japanese government actually coined another term as they were going towards development. They coined the word green kaizen, which means the improvement action for going green and sustainable development. Japan has taken many measures to ensure that development and environmental and the environment can go hand in hand. I would like to pass it on to Ananya now.
Thank you very much for your question, judges. And I would like to start off with a very common quote. And I quote, "एक एक सिक्का जोड़ के ही 100 रुपया बनता है," which translates to we can start stacking up one rupee coins, and in no time it will soon turn into a 100 rupee note. So I would like to say that we as citizens also have a huge role to play in this cause, and our present government and overall international government is also trying to tell us that we need to do our part. So at least we can start off with turning off the lights from the rooms we leave, so that it can save up a lot of energy and it can play a huge part in this cause. And also government is also implementing renewable energy policies, such as incentives for the development of wind and solar power to reduce reliance on fossil fuels and promote clean energy. Another example can be that establishment of protected areas such as national parks and nature reserves to preserve natural ecosystems and protect biodiversities. Governments have also implemented regulations and standards to reduce pollution, including emission standards for vehicles and industrial facilities. Furthermore, governments have recognized the importance of public participation in environmental decision making and have sought to increase public awareness of environmental issues through education and outreach programs. Overall, while governments around the world are increasingly recognizing the importance of balancing development with environmental protection, but I still think we have a long way to go and we all need to work together in this. Passing it on to my other team member.
Thank you, Ananya. So, as the population in cities, and especially in a country like India, is increasing, infrastructural development is essential to accommodate the growing demand. But environmental production is a necessity for the sustainability of life, which cannot be neglected at any cost. As per my understanding, both environment and development are equally important on this earth. Simply, we can say as environment is for a healthy living. All the ancient technologies are being modified with modern names and are being bought into the market. The best example I can give you is the eco-friendly leaf plants. This kind of technology is being followed in India through some decades. That's all from our side.
And yeah, ma'am, I would like to And ma'am, thank you first of all for your lovely question. Now to continue, I would like to give an example to what Anaya had previously mentioned about Japan. So there's a train station in Japan named as Kashiyama. So the story is very interesting behind the development of Kashiyama. Initially, there was a tree there, and later came the development there came out. It was built side by it, and later when the population in Japan grew, the train station had also needed to be extended. But then the tree had to be cut down, and the tree was 700 years old. The tree was 700 years old. So people there, they protested because they, of course, did not want to cut down a legacy, a 700-year-old tree. So they built the entire train station in Kashiyama around that 700-year-old tree. And that tree, even today, they mention it as use it as, they say that it's a sacred tree. They worship there and they think that the tree in Kashiyama, the 700-old tree in Kashiyama, exports of the evil spirits, all the curses. And also, we would all have heard the quote that "Boond boond se sagar banta hai." It translates to every drop makes the ocean. So what we do today, every little thing that we contribute as a responsible citizen of the nation, we can contribute towards development. Switching off the lights when we leave our room, and switching off the geysers, or the turning off the tap when the water is not used, can contribute towards development. Even the solar panels that are here today in India, it's towards our development, so it does it. And the last thing I would like to mention is that planting trees on a birthday is also one thing that we should do, because it is also a way that we can contribute towards development. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Team APS Udhampur. The ideas and words put forward were really persuasive. And now back to you, Colonel Karan sir. Any further comments? Karan sir, is there anything else you want to add up? He's mute. Sorry. I'm so sorry. Is there Alka ma'am?
Very well brought out and pretty insightful, with a lot of learning about Japan. And what I could understand what these girls were wanting to say is our insistence on sustainable development that combines environmental care, social justice, and economic growth. Well, thank you, and lovely to hear you all present, your well-researched answers. Over to you.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Now, moving on next to our next jury member, I would like to invite Colonel Karan Kharab sir to kindly put your comments here and ask the questions to the team.
Okay. First of all, definitely once again, congratulations all students. Very well discussed, very well brought out, and all of you have given very logical answers. But the very idea of development and ecology seems to be often coming into conflict. The more we crave for advancement and modernization and technology versus uh, modern technology versus the nature, or industrialization versus the nature, it definitely is a perpetual conflict we have come into, and it's a very, very serious, the kind of environment changes that we are seeing. We are seeing seasonal upheavals all over the planet, off and on. So, therefore, your generation students is to be even more than your academics, perhaps more in life. You have to be more concerned about it. So, therefore, my this question and this would be, how will you handle progress as future executives in the context of this very model? For instance, metro is a very important, very much needed means of transport in so many ways. In fact, it is reducing the pollution that would have been if we were using only cars instead of it. So therefore, it is a system of transport which is definitely very good, but then, of course, not at the cost of losing this thing. I don't know if you were to, or would you like to suggest an alternative, or some midway between, say, the development, the coming of this kind of a model, relocation of these poor families with some incentives, better accommodation for them, affordable accommodation for them, and forestation also moved along with them. How? Perhaps you could have some, instead of cutting the trees here, if the same could be compensated in some ways by relocating them and incentivizing their efforts and harnessing their efforts and reforestation. So, would you like that kind of of an idea? Could be practicable?
Okay. So APS Udhampur, we'll give you 2 minutes to confer and kindly come back with your answer then. So dear team, your time is over, and you may present your answer, please.
Right. Thank you so much, sir, for your question. So, yes, there are environmental changes that our generation is seeing nowadays. The icebergs are melting, the wildlife is dying, the temperature is rising so much because of global warming. So, how will we as a generation come together to combat this epidemic of, environmental change? An environmentalist from our generation said, or rather tweeted, a reminder: the people in power don't need conferences, treaties, or agreements to start taking real climate action. They can start today. And when enough people come together, then change will come and we can achieve almost anything. So instead of looking for hope, start creating it. And I completely agree with them. Instead of looking for hope, we as a generation should come together and start creating it. This starts with our schools, it starts with our very own homes. There has to be, a couple of habits which are inculcated in every single child, every single student, in every single, an asset to the society, so that, as mentioned before, there is no planet B. This is our only planet. We need to do everything that we can to save our country, our nation, our world. So, as a generation, everyone can come together. First of all, start spreading awareness and changing their own ideologies and understanding that the house is on fire. We need to start acting like it is. So now I would like to pass it on to the next teammate.
Thank you, Naya. And now, sir, first of all, thank you for the lovely question. Now, to answer the question specifically about the metro and that thing that you said. Well, while we are living in JNK, we are APS Udhampur. So, the Divisional Commissioner Jammu, Dr. Raghav Landia, reviewed the detailed project report DPR formulated for the prestigious Metro Line train project proposed for Jammu city here at a meeting of concerned officers. And the Managing Director MRTC briefed the Division Commission that the project formulation has got expedited on the directions of the Office of Honorable Lieutenant Governor. The idea proposed was that the metro track should be made above the roads and, like in the case of bridges, and not underground and through the forested areas, because as it is like mentioned the case study, it is going to destroy the forest cover area that we're having. So instead, making them in the form of bridges would definitely help to remove the amount of trees that are being cut. And so apart from that, we read that the wasteland in India, it's about 4.41% of the total geographical area of India's wasteland. So occupying and using that wasteland appropriately for, adjusting those people and for all these things, and also for the vertical parking that is now coming into idea. In Jammu also, we have the vertical parking that has come into consideration. So yeah, these are the things that we as responsible citizens think about doing and are learning from. So passing it over to my next team member.
Yes, thank you very much. First of all, thank you very much, sir, for your question. And as you asked for the future, what we suggest for the future can be done. So while I agree that while it is true that there is often a conflict between development and ecology, it is important to recognize that the two are not mutually exclusive. With careful planning, it is possible to achieve both. So regarding the metro systems, they are an important mode of transportation in urban areas and can play a key role in reducing traffic congestion and air pollution. However, the construction and operation of metro systems can also have negative impacts on the environment. So as an alternative, I would suggest exploring the use of sustainable transportation options such as electric buses, bicycles, and walking in the future. These options not only reduce environmental impact but also promote healthy living and active transportation. In addition, the use of smart city technologies such as intelligent traffic management systems and ride sharing services can help optimize the use of existing transportation infrastructure and reduce the need for new infrastructure. Furthermore, it is also important to involve local communities and stakeholders in the planning and decision-making process to ensure that their concerns and interests are taken into account. By engaging with local communities, we can identify the most appropriate transportation solutions that balance the need of the community with environmental protection. So as a future executive, I would prioritize sustainable development and explore alternative ways to promote development with safe environment. So thank you, and passing it on to next teammate.
Thank you, Ananyadi, and thank you, sir, for your valuable question. So, according to the research by USDA Forest Service, Davis, California showed that their air temperatures were 4 to 8 degree cooler in shaded parking lots. The shade from the trees in those parking lots reduced surface asphalt temperature by 36 degrees Fahrenheit and vehicle interior temperature by 47 degrees Fahrenheit. The cooler parking lot temperature reduces ozone concentration and hydrocarbon emissions from parked cars, that is the fuel evaporation. And as you also mentioned, sir, and I too mentioned in my speech, that uprooting of the trees with alongside their roots and planting them in other regions can also help for the construction as well as the saving of environment. So in such a way, development as well as the protection of the environment can go hand in hand. Thank you. Passing it on to the another speaker.
Development is not only about dams, roads, and bridges, it's about the development of people. These lines were rightly said by Rajiv Gandhi. Definitely, truly said that, sir, development and environmental protection should go coexist with each other. Also, as mentioned by my teammates, there were alternatives and we can apply them as future executives of our nation. Also, I would like to add one more point. Underground parking, as mentioned by my teammate earlier, and studies have shown that underground parking has resulted in lower temperatures, which also can further degrade the climate change that we are proceeding towards to. This leads to all the seasonal climatic changes that we are seeing. This can further degrade all these seasons, like the summer this year. These months are usually taken as the summer months. Right now, over here, we're experiencing rains, we're experiencing cold. How is that even logical? Over the years past, let's go back to 10 years back. Summer used to reach off to like till 38, 39, 40, that used to go max. Right now it reaches to 45. How is that even logical? So further for elaboration, I would like to pass it on to my other teammate.
Thank you, Tejaswani. And so, well, to almost end it, to bring it to a closure. So, like you said, we are the prestigious students of Army Public School, be it anywhere. And the curriculum that has been introduced to us, the entire NCERT books. In geography, we have been reading about all the Rio de Janeiro Earth Summit, the Paris Agreement, and there have been so many things that have been introduced to us through the mode of education. So, our education nowadays is also revolving around the importance of development alongside the saving our environment, because we as responsible children of the responsible generation that is to take the reins of the nation next, we are being introduced to different modes of development. So yes, that should conclude our answer.
Thank you so much. So thanks a lot, Team V. So can we end up here, sir?
Yeah, very well answered, and again, very thinking kind of a lot, and focused in life, focused in your studies. I'm sure you're all brilliant brains from respective schools, and I must congratulate your teachers, your parents, you yourselves, and I think very well answered. And such seminars, I'm sure you must be conducting, and you must be having more similar interactions. And in particular, this particular ethos building, or the concept of fostering some kind of ethical behavior, which is on a decline today in our entire society. That is very much important, and I'm very happy that teachers, your principals, are doing so, and you are going to build a new India, a golden India, and I'm sure this is going to be a thriving future for all of you. God bless. I was very happy to be part of this interaction.
Thank you so much, sir. We are indeed happy also to be the part of this and having all of you so worthy judges over here. And I would like to appreciate both the teams, the way they have expressed their views in the critical analyzation of the case. That was wonderful. And now we have come to the end of the stage 2, match 1 of day 3. And I'm sure you both the teams are eager to know about the results, but you have to wait for a while and we'll get back to you after 15 minutes of break and then results will be announced. So thank you so much, everyone. I request the judges to kindly send the scoring sheet as soon as possible in the groups, in the judges group, in the WhatsApp, as soon as possible, please. So I request the judges once again to send the scoring sheet in the WhatsApp group of judges.
Well, already sent, dear. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
Okay. I'll just be taking a minute. Yeah. Aji, is that still on? I have sent. Am I audible?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It's all
Okay.
done. Thank you, sir.
So is that over now, or what are we doing?
We are just going to announce the result. That's it, sir.
Okay. Yeah, I shared it.
I hope both the teams are here with us. Okay. So thank you for your patience. I know you all are very eager to know about the result, and we are finally ready with the results. Yes. Uh, just to announce the results, we have one very worthy personality with us, and I would like to tell you that she is Principal APS Dharo, Dr. Jyoti Baryal ma'am. And if I talk about her, she is really a wonderful beacon of light for this school, under whose worthy, able guidance, the school has been able to win many rewards. If I talk about her achievements, she has won the best principal at a district level from Science Olympiad Foundation, awarded with a coveted International Award of Honorary Doctorate by Central University of America. And she has been felicitated with first Bhishma Determination Award 2021 for unmatched dedication by All India Principals Association at Jammu for her contribution in the field of education. There's so many things I would like to share with you all, but due to the time running out, I would like to call upon the stage Dr. Jyoti Baryal ma'am to kindly, end up the waiting by the students and declare the results. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you, Madhvi. Thank you so much. I don't think so. Whatever you have spoken, I don't deserve too much. Every day is a learning experience for me. So anyway, thank you so much for boosting my morale too, because it inspires us also at any stage, at any age. Because I consider that till last breath, we all are learners. So any appreciation or any word of this thing that matters. Thank you so much, dear. So now, dear children, it was amazing, wonderful experience for me, for judges. I think I have viewed your the whole session, the way you were representing yourself, both the teams were having a lot of zeal into, and you elaborated everything in a way that reflects your research on the topic, right? So that's really good. For that only we have organized this event, right? So I'm really highly grateful to the mentors who have, put strenuous efforts to prepare you. And for sure, your parents, they need a lot of appreciation that they also have contributed as we see that the questions pertaining to any of the, from any of the judges, the way you were replying, it is not only these events are not organized only to, see that how you are answering, but the values what you are carrying, it reflects your, family background also, the way you are brought up. It is, these events, judges and all the teachers, all the, viewers who are on while they are watching you from live streaming sessions or anywhere, we all are watching. So that shows your parents also need salutation for that. And APS Fraternity is having, all of it's really a proud moment for all of us when we see our children performing in a, such a wonderful manner. So that beta boosts my morale also as a principal, and all the principals who are watching you, you are making us learn. So the era has changed, right? You are the center of the universe, and you are making, you are giving every day new challenges. And I was really, missing my school days, my own school days, that we have not got such opportunities to express like the way you are expressing. Our time was totally different. Right now you have, all the facilities which are available, and you are honing your skills in that way. So that's really amazing. Each one of you have, represented yourself. Both the teams were, showing the concern, the way they were answering, concern to the subject matter they were replying. That was really amazing. And for that, I would like to, a big round of applause should be for you. You all deserve big round of applause from our side. And I know the teams are eagerly waiting that why ma'am is not, she's taking us here and there, why she's not announcing the result. It happens with everybody. When we were at your stage or when we sit for any kind of competitions, we always wait for that. But I would, before announcing the result, I would like to mention once again that winning and losing doesn't matter. What matters is your participation and the way you participated and the way you answered, right? And one more minute I'll take. I've been failing in my duties if I don't mention. I just wanted to owe my gratitude to the honorable judges of today's event, right? So all of us from the jury members, dear jury members, respected jury members, we have learned a lot from you, and we have, got number of things in our bags, right? So practically also we'll be using all those skills which you tried to put in our bag, right? So thank you so much for accepting our invitations and for, shaping the future of the nation. Thank you so much, all the jury members. Now I am going to announce the result, right? So keep your finger right, done, right? So it is the winning team. As I told you, winning and losing doesn't matter. So you don't have to lose heart. One has to win and one has to lose, right? And there is I would like to mention it, there's a very, less difference between both the teams. So both the teams have done really well, but for sure the luck also matters. Everything matters. Your presentation matters a bit better. So that's why you have got the marks. The winning team is APS Udhampur. APS Udhampur is a winning team with 151.5 points. 151.5 points. APS team, heartiest congratulations to you. And APS Mathura, you are at 148. APS Mathura, you are at 148 points, right? So greetings on behalf of management APS Dharod and from all the mentors, from all the school leaders and jury members. Yes, congratulations to you. Keep up the good work. Keep it up. The way you are presenting, the way you are preparing, and I would like to congratulate the mentors also. Mr. Manish Chopra as a mentor for the event. I want a big round of applause for him also, that he is, guiding you. He's a guiding force behind the curtain. So all the mentors, even Kanpur teacher concerned, also need a round of applause. The way children were representing. So that shows shows, the dedication and devotion of the teachers also, right? So they also need a big round of applause and appreciation. I would like to request kids, please pay thank you, pay gratitude to your mentors also, right? Just thumbs up, you will be paying thanks to your parents and your this thing teacher concern. So heartiest congratulations. And at last, I would like to mention here, I would like to congratulate and appreciate my technical team and event in charge, Mrs. Tanpreet Kaur, and the moderator, both the moderators, two matches were going. Manishi was handling other match, and moderator Madhuri, she has done well. So I'm really proud of my team. So a big round of applause for the event team, also technical team. Shruti is there, Rajiv Jaswal is there. So for running the show, these people are working, till 24 hours so that any glitch should not come, any hassle should not come in your way. So they also need a big round of applause. Thank you and heartiest congratulations once again. Thank you so much, Jai Hind. Thank you to the jury members once again. Thanks a lot. Jai Hind.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you
It's a
very much.
wonderful result, and I hope everybody's happy here. It's all, winning and losing is nothing, but the impact it puts on in our life is the one that matters. So it's very congratulations from my side also to APS Udhampur. See you in the next round. I'm sure you'll be more excited and ready for the next round. We'll show a much bigger performance than this next time again. So congratulations once again. I would like to take a moment to thank our worthy judges who took out their time from their busy schedules. Your time and dedication made it possible for us to reward the students. We couldn't have asked for better judges. Then thank you so much once again, everybody, all the judges, students, principal, ABS Dharod ma'am, and everybody out there. So here we can end up this session. Congratulations once again. Thank you so much.